All right, good afternoon, everyone. This is Mr. Fosnot. Just a quick video to hopefully explain to parents a little better about our upcoming changes to the school medication program. You may have noticed some of those changes articulated in last year's newsletter and the school website, but we thought we'd just take a few minutes of your time through this video to help explain some of the key points to help alleviate any problems when school starts this fall. So, again, bear with me as I look at some notes. But we're talking about these today: medications, both over-the-counter and prescription, and how they will affect your families, and again, some changes that we're going to be asking you to make. First of all, why changes to what we've been doing in the past? First of all, safety. We want to make sure that when we give a drug to your child, whatever it may be, it's the right drug given at the right time in the proper dose to the right child. And we haven't had any issues with that in the past, but we want to make sure that that's done properly. Secondly is security. We want to make sure that all drugs held by the school are held in a manner that keeps them safe, prevents people from using them improperly, or in some cases with control medications, stealing them and selling them and using them to get high or some other fraudulent way. So we want to make sure we're securing those medications. Next, administration. Used to be that a classroom teacher may give an over-the-counter medication to a child in their classroom. Those days are really gone. Employees that will be giving medications now by North Dakota Century Code can opt in or opt out of giving medications, so teachers and support staff now by law can just say they don't want to give any medications anymore. And we believe that if you're going to be giving any medication to a child, you should have training. So we have a team of teachers that has been trained, office staff, administrators, that have been trained to give medications, and they will be the ones giving all medications starting this year to your child. Let's see. What's changed? In short, new and more stringent procedures for the dissemination of medication at school by school personnel. It's simply that. And key changes for parents: you're going to have more doctor authorizations to give medications or to authorize us to give medications to your child. Unfortunately, more paperwork, more forms, okay, and check-in requirements for meds to ensure that they're secured safely. What's an over-the-counter medication? I'm going to begin that way. Let me separate it into over-the-counter and then prescription to help keep them different. So first of all, an over-the-counter medication like a pain reliever. Over-the-counters are things like Tylenol, Aleve, Advil, antacids, Alka-Seltzer, cough suppressant, cough drops. Really any medication that's not prescribed that's listed in the U.S. Pharmacopoeia, which surprisingly is just about everything on the other side of the counter from the Ulmers uptown. It is really almost anything else. So all things that are considered OTC will have new requirements. When sending over-the-counter medications to school, you'll need to think of a couple guiding questions. Is your child an elementary age child, or are they high school, 7-12? And secondly, will you be asking the Ellendale employees to keep and give the medication to your child? And I'll go through those in just a second to help explain. For an elementary age child, K through 6, all over-the-counter medications must be accompanied by an over-the-counter medication form. It's a parent sign-off form. This can be found on the EPS website. All OTCs will be kept and given by trained EPS staff. This is usually going to be the office staff, not your classroom teacher. OTCs may be sent with the child to school, but then they must be given to their classroom teacher or the office so we can store them and secure them properly. If your child's in 7-12, now you have a couple options. During parent registration, parents of 7th through 12th grade kids can sign a waiver, and you're just going to give them carte blanche. They can take OTCs whenever they want, whenever you and your child agree to it at any time, as long as that OTC drug is kept with your child and secured and not shared with anybody. They have to make sure they can't give Tylenol to their neighbor. If you want school personnel to give that over-the-counter drug to a 7th through 12th grader, you have to have a form, and you must give the medication to the office to keep, and then we'll disseminate. In general, OTCs must be in their original package. Okay, I know in my past as a teacher and as a principal, there are cough drops sent in a little Ziploc bag with a note inside. Sorry, that won't make it. If you want cough drops for your child, or cough medicine, or even Tylenol, then you need to send it in the original container, and the child must have the child's name must be on it. So take a piece of tape, put it onto the outside of the bottle, write the child's name on it, maybe the grade, and then send that into the school with them. I mentioned forms just a second ago about both of them for over-the-counter and prescription meds. Forms are on the Ellendale School website. If you go to the website www.ellendale.k12.nd.us, there will be a little link to the parent section towards the top, and on the parents page there's a link to our health and wellness services. On there is more information about the policy, forms, and the requirements, so you probably want to check that out. Just FYI, we have sent the forms in a letter to the pharmacy uptown, both clinics and also Dickey County Health, so they should be aware that changes are coming. Okay, so prescription meds. Now, all prescription medications must be held and distributed by school personnel. Your child, regardless of grade, K through 12, is not allowed to keep this type of medication in their possession and self-administer it. So if that child is going to be needs to take medication during the school day that's prescription, you have to follow the following requirements. Okay, prescription procedures. All prescriptions given at school must be accompanied by a prescription med form, which again is on the website. Important, which is different, a prescription med will require a doctor sign-off. So the doctor prescribing the medication, you need to take the form with you to the doctor. Again, why we sent the form to the clinics, they should have a copy hopefully, or have access via our website to get one if you need it. But your prescribing doctor has to answer some questions on there, particularly about time, dose, when it should be given, how it should be given, that it's not causing any adverse side effects with other drugs your child may be taking, and then they sign off. Then you as a parent have to sign off on the same form. So make sure if you think they're going to get a prescription at the doctor's office, or you have one that they take all the time, get the form, take it with you to the doctor's office. Prescription drugs must be supplied to the school in the original container, this thing, okay? The container must include, and usually on the label that you get from the pharmacy, it must include the child's name, the name of the medication, the dose, the expiration date, any storage instructions that there may be, administration instructions, usually oral, that's common, and the number of pills in the container. Why number of pills in the container? So that when we get the container, we are responsible to make sure that we take in so many, we give out so many, and if we give them back to you, that you should have the appropriate number given back to you. So it's a security measure to make sure the medications are held properly. The medication in the original container must be brought to the school by the parent or guardian. Your child cannot bring this to school and drop it off at the office. So that is going to be a significant change for some families. So be aware of that. And we do ask that if you get a new prescription, they just go get some a new drug that they've never taken, we want to make sure that the first dose is always given by you. As the parent, you give the first dose, you watch for side effects, adverse reactions, and then if that's okay, then we'll carry on from there if you need to give it during school hours. But we ask that any first dose of a new med be given by you. Check-in requirements. So when you as a parent, when you bring that in with this bottle to probably Amber at the front desk, you're going to have the form with you, signed by the doctor and you. You're going to have the proper container with the requirements, the number of pills in the bottle, either the pills in the bottle match what's on the bottle, or if you've given a dose, then you're going to have to verify to Amber that I've given 3 doses out of here. So there should be 10 minus 3, there should be 7 doses in here, and then we'll be counting them to make sure that that's appropriate. And again, the parent must hand deliver it to the office. For us, we're going to take that medication, and a trained employee, one of the trained people that have gone through the training, is going to be handling your child's medication. We're going to ensure that proper form is on file. We're going to count the medication, as I mentioned earlier. We're going to secure the medication in the office, and if it's a controlled substance like Ritalin, Concerta, we have extra precautions, which I'll explain in a few moments. Okay, so controlled substances, as I mentioned, Ritalin, Concerta, other similar drugs. If you're unsure if it's controlled, just ask your doctor. They must be provided not in this. Okay, so if your child's taking Ritalin, we will not accept it in this bottle anymore. It must be in what they call a bubble sheet, and the bubble sheet is widely found in medication or healthcare institutions, hospitals, long-term care facilities. You can get your medication in a bubble sheet uptown at Allendale Pharmacy. And again, this is only for controlled substances, okay? But if you wish the controlled substance to be given at school, that dosage must be provided in a bubble sheet format. So it's a small sheet, and each day or each dose is in a special bubble punch out, so that when we give it, we know we're giving the right amount at the right time. It also allows us to secure that controlled substance better, and I'll mention that in a second. We don't want someone to, in this format, they could have taken a pill or two, and we probably wouldn't have noticed, because one, in the past, we didn't count them when they came in, so we didn't know how many we had. We just knew that the bottle was empty. We'd call you and say we need more. So with a controlled substance, we're going to count it when it comes in the bubble sheet. We know that we gave your child a dosage on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So with controlled substances, they're going to again be in the bubble sheet. They're going to be locked in the vault. They're going to be locked in a secure box in the vault that only administrators can get into, meaning medication administrators can get into. And then once a week, we have an outside person, a person who's not a medication administrator. They're going to count for Joey or Susie or whatever. You gave 5 doses this week. You should have 5 bubbles vacated on your bubble sheet. Again, it's for security. A few more thoughts about prescription meds in general. Get to your doctor early. If your child has a medication they take all the time, get to your doctor early and get the form filled out. Get on the way, and that's why we're making this video today. If you have prescription, if you can, give it at home. Personally, as a dad, I'd rather give it at home and not have to deal with the paperwork and the form and the requirements. If that medication is given twice a day, give that medication you can at 8 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon, or 8 in the morning and 6 at night. It really will make your life much less complicated if you can give the medication at home. And if you need to give medication at home and at school, let's say it's one time at night and one time at noon, ask your doctor for 2 bottles. I don't have 2 to show you, but ask for 1 bottle to be made for you and 1 bottle to be made for school. And that way it'll help to alleviate some of the issues going back and forth. And let's see, wow, I think that's the end. Hopefully this helps a little bit, but again, there are significant changes, but they will ensure that any drugs that are given at school, administered at school, are stored properly, given properly, and distributed by trained personnel. And I do want to thank you for your time. Hopefully this wasn't a waste of time. Hopefully it did provide you some information how to deal with us distributing medications to your child properly and the requirements you have as a parent, so we can do that for you. And if you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to give us a call. Anybody in the office can help you out with this if you have issues. So, thank you.